Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to this special episode of Speaking Out, Exposing Corruption and Incompetence. Today is Friday, the 30th day of August 2024. As I said, it's a special episode. So more than ever, you are encouraged to share the live, let people know that we're on. Because many of those students who have not subscribed to the channel, who have not liked the page on Facebook, would not have gotten the notice that we are on today. And I'm on to address that malicious statement issued by the Guyana Police Force yesterday. So share the live. And while we are at it, I'm going to give them the opportunity, all of those who are going to come on to monitor what Slow is saying, perhaps looking to file cybercrime charges and all of that. Let me give them the opportunity to pull out the recording equipment or to make whatever notes they got to make. Those who do it on behalf of the extended squatter, those who do it on behalf of Rosemen, and those who do it on behalf of everybody else. Take out your notes because they're coming. Pace bowling today. I am arguing the button today. I am alone today, right? Because this is my issue and I need to respond to it in an appropriate fashion. So share the live as you are there to give me the thumbs up and let me know that you are here and that you are appreciative of the fact that this Friday afternoon I have decided to come and to update you. You know, I wanted to do it since yesterday afternoon. That statement was released sometime yesterday morning, I understand. And I wanted to do it yesterday afternoon, but I had to get clearance from legal people before I decided. So once clearance was given, I decided to schedule the program, and here I am, and here you are in the schoolyard, in the classroom to get the information. Let me say this. I am not going to allow the Guyana Police Force or the government of Guyana or any one of them to come out with these malicious statements and not respond in an appropriate fashion. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So they could say what they want to say. I will come and I will bring the facts to you. That is all I do. I bring the facts, and you are intelligent people. You are going to make your own assessment. I will give you the facts. I'm going to outline in as chronological an order as I can exactly what is going on. You know, they're trying to intimidate and to silence me, but they're done. They're done because by now they ought to have recognized that they cannot intimidate or silence Paul Slow. I will continue to speak the truth. I will continue to speak the truth. And if the truth is offending them, if they believe that the truth is contrary to the cybercrime laws and so on, well, let them go ahead. But that is not going to stop me from speaking the truth. I have no fear of any one of them. I have no fear of Irfan Ali. I have no fear of Bara Jagdio. I have no fear of Lion Mark Phillips. I have no fear of Robeson. I have no fear of the extended squatter Ikin. I have no fear of Blanham. I have no fear of Karimba. None of them I ain't got no fear. You know why? You know why I don't have any fear for any one of them? Because I know when I last checked that I have to die one day. You see, unlike them, who thieving all this money and believing that they're going to live forever, I know that a day will come when the good Lord will call me home. I know that. I have to go, but they're not going to go any place. So they can thief, they can lie, they can do all sort of things. I am not afraid, even when they go on the East Coast, at that bar on the East Coast, and they're planning to make Slow another crummy wing. I have the record, and somebody had asked if I had made a report. Made a report to whom? The same people who making the plans to arm me? No, I make sure that the reports are, the details are in the hands of the correct people. And before I go further, you know, I see Desmond telling me I came on a little late. Yes, I came on a little late, Desmond, because just as about when I was to sign on at exactly 5, I got a phone call, a very disturbing phone call, which is saying to me that a very good friend of mine in Brooklyn was found dead a while ago in his home. Very disturbing, very, very close friend. I know this life only Saturday night. We had a long conversation over 2 hours. He called me and we were talking all kind of story. And that man told me to be, you know, that man said, Paul, be careful. These people planning to assassinate you. That is what he told me. Saturday night gone. Right? And then I hear now, well, it's almost confirmed because the person who called me is a very close relative, said that they were trying to get him. They couldn't get him. And then when he yeah, they're trying to get it. Yeah, hold a while. Let's call coming. I'm sure it's about the same thing. Hold a while. Yes, for sorry about that, but I'm getting confirmation that my very good friend has passed. Very, very, very good friend. And I said Saturday night he called me. We had a long conversation, over 2 hours, and he warned me. He said these people are planning to assassinate you. So I said, buddy, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Hey, what I told him, I said I'm not afraid to die. That doesn't mean I'm going to stand in the middle of the road when I see a truck coming. I told him that. We plan to meet tomorrow night at our get together, the COVID 74 get together. I plan to. We said we're gonna meet, and we had a long conversation. So I know that I have to die. Them people who doing all this mischief, they're not gonna die. And before I go further, Tony, not so long ago, we get the word that Sir Sheridan Ramphal, former Secretary General, I think he was Legal Affairs Minister in Guyana, passed away sometime today. So I know one day I have to go. Those people who are conniving and thieving, that's if all the resources and so on, they're not gonna dare. They go out, and whenever they go, if they go, they're gonna carry those things with them. So let me say to you, I decided to come and to address this issue, address the statement made by the police yesterday. They're gonna release a statement. Let me read to you what the statement says. Let me read to you what the statement. I understand they're all over the media. I ain't mind. People, a man tell me they're all over. My name is on the news all over. Somebody from Barbados said yes, they're auditing on Barbados news as well. Here, what the story says: this Ghana Police Force statement issued yesterday, the 29th day of August, 2024. The Ghana Police Force is currently investigating another serious allegation made under the Sexual Offences Act of Guyana by a female against Paul Slow. Back in the year 2021, 18th of October, Paul Slow was slapped with 3 counts of sexual assault charges committed on a female. These charges are still pending in the magistrate's court. The defendant, Paul Slow, have been charged with these serious offenses, having been exhibiting criminal behavior on the social media platform with his malicious attacks on the female victim, thereby causing her to endure more trauma and irreparable harm. And such action is contrary to the spirit and true intention of the Sexual Offences Act. These utterances and attacks on a victim of a sexual offense represents a clear breach of the Sexual Offences Act of Guyana. Having received a report of this breach, the Guyana Police Force, in accordance with its clear mandate, Section 3.2 of the Police Act, Chapter 1601, and the quoting, the due enforcement of all laws and regulations with which it is directly charged, in collaboration with its overseas counterpart, has commenced an investigation after which legal advice will be sought as it relates to charges to be instituted. The probe is ongoing. Now, let me say this. I'm going to analyze this statement. Let me say this. No one has ever said anything to me with any other. They say, whatever I can't say here, another serious allegation. No one has told me of put any allegation to me. No one has informed me that any report has been made or anything like that. So the first time I hear about this other serious allegation is when this release came out yesterday. And I got to deal with it because, what it says. And let me go on to say, let me say now, since they have some dates wrong, and I'm going to walk you through, since these charges were filed on the 19th of May, 2021, I have never, ever attacked the reporter or the what they call the person who made the report. the complainant. I have never. What I have done and what I will continue to do is to come and to tell people, give people the update on this case or the cases. And anyone here who has been a regular will know that when I come, I will tell them, I will say to you, as I say now again, that there are certain aspects I cannot discuss because the matter is before the court. It's sub judice. I'm not going to go into the evidence and all of that. All I have been updating people is what the trial did, because the trial hasn't started yet. Is that a case where this trial started? It has not started as yet. And I will walk you through all of this. But this is clearly intended to intimidate and to silence me. It ain't going to work. It is not going to work. They have been trying this since 2003 to intimidate and to silence me. It is not going to work. So let them record, and let them file. They're going to file whatever cybercrime charge or whatever charge they want to file under the Sexual Offences Act. Let them go ahead. Because look how the maliciousness in the first paragraph, the maliciousness of this statement. The Ghana Police Force is currently investigating another serious allegation made under the Sexual Offences Act by a female against Walsall. So, and based what they say later down in paragraphs 2 and 3, I mean, you know the dunce, but then later on in paragraph 2 or 3, they are now referring to the current matter that is before the court. That is what they're doing in paragraphs 2 and 3. In other words, they're now accusing me of using this social media platform to intimidate the witness. I have never done so. I get more sense than that. I right? And let me. I made some note. I don't want to miss nothing. I said the statement is clearly intended to intimidate. And here what I said on the last paragraph again. The due enforcement of laws and regulation with which it is directly charged in collaboration with its overseas counterpart. I live in the U.S. In case you all know, I live in the U.S. So basically, what they're saying, they are collaborating maybe with the FBI, maybe with the New York NYPD. Nobody has ever, no one of them from the Ghana Police Force or no authority in the U.S. has asked me anything about this. So I don't know how they're collaborating with the authorities in the U.S. and the U.S. don't work like Guyana. U.S. authorities, FBI and the NYPD is not so cool, because once an allegation is made, they will put the allegation to you and carry through what is the legal process. But I'm telling you, as I speak to you now, no such thing has been done. So I don't know when this collaboration started. I don't know. They didn't say. And I get a strong suspicion that is lie. They lie. I have a strong suspicion. And I suspect all this coming about because of several things, including the fact that recently I told you students on this very program that I had an interaction with the FBI some time ago and provided them with a detailed statement of what is transpiring, a detailed statement. I think it's a 6 or 7 page statement I provided. So all of this now, they're trying to get it marked. They're trying to smear me. It is not going to work. I have been coming here and I've been telling you what is going on. I ain't hiding anything. Yes, I was charged on the 19th of May, 2021. A charge along with Mr. Conway and several other former senior officers and members of the force, current members of the force at the time, with conspiracy to commit fraud. After months and months and years, the matter was decided on the 27th, or the decision was handed down on the 27th of December last year. The matter was dismissed. No case submission. The matter was dismissed. And the magistrate, in dismissing the case, remarked that there was not an iota of evidence against any one of the defendants in the case. Wicked and vindictiveness. Wicked and vindictiveness. And at the same time, when the charge was on the 19th, 3 charges of sexual assault. And I'm going to tell you the details of it. If they say, when I talk about the details of it, and they say that that is traumatizing the victim, well, that is it. I have no apology to make. I ain't calling name, I ain't going to detail, but I'm going to tell you what the allegation is. Because you see, they're pushing this thing about sexual offense. And even people on social media, you check the comment, a man referring to me as a sexual predator and all. Nothing of the sort. I have never been acted inappropriately with women who work with me, who are friends, who are not friends. And people know, they got people on this live here now who worked with me over the years in all the divisions that I have worked in Ghana, even all through the Caribbean. And nobody can accuse Slow of no woman or man for that matter can accuse me of acting inappropriately. Those female ranks who work with me know that I'm a tantalized king, and they love that. You tantalize them about their looks, you tantalize them. But they know it is in good spirit. And I choose the people carefully who I tantalize with. If you believe in thin skin, I ain't telling you anything. I am not going to tell you anything. That is my nature, and that is a part of me that a lot of people don't know. But those who know me know that, as they would say, me's a shit talk king. Right? I like rip people, and people would rip me back and all these other things. That is how it goes. But let me tell you, I'm not going to allow it to go. So, as I said, I have never been dealt inappropriately, unlike many of them whose wives have accused them of domestic violence and all this everything. Their wives and their partners have accused them of all of these things. It's in the media. It's there, right? People accuse them. I've never had any such thing. Now, let me tell you, what is the allegation? I don't want them listening because they might say, this too is traumatizing the victim. It was reported in 2021, April. I think if I'm correct, the date is around the 14th or 15th of April. A female police officer reported that on the 26th, 29th of March 2019 and on the 2nd of April of the same year, I touched her leg, or I rubbed her leg in an inappropriate manner during the course of three separate meetings. These are three different similar actions at three different meetings during which a lot of other people, at least 5 or 6 other persons, were present. That is the report. The report was made in April of 2021, and it is alleged that these incidents took place in March and April 2019, about 2 years before. Now you want to know 2021, I'm going to walk you through because I'm going to tell you exactly what was going on at that time. I'm going to remind you what was going on in 2021, why these reports were made then, 2 years after it was alleged to have occurred. Now, let me tell you this. As I said, I told you the date. I have always said that I am not at liberty to discuss the details of this case. Anybody who listens can tell you so. And I am not going to discuss the details. That's why I told you there, that is the allegation, not the evidence. That is what the statement of offense, or the particulars of offense, would say. Sexual assault. So when they come and they talk about this sexual assault, when people calling me on social media rapists and so on, me and Dharam Lal, nobody has ever accused me of raping anybody. Me and let me pull up this one here too. Me and the senior police officer who look the story. Hey, look, I get it here. Officer fingered in sexual harassment of journalists now accused of rape by a female. Me and that person, this is January the 23rd. A senior officer who's there now in a senior position. He was accused, according to say, sexual harassment of journalists. He's now accused by a female cop of rape. Nobody ever accused me of rape. The man is there. For those police who know, he named Lucifer. Lucifer is his name, against whom these allegations were made, and he's still there. And then investigating that. They're not investigating that, right? So I don't know if they get statute of limitation, but they're not investigating. And all they're trying to do is to get at me. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to talk. Sit back. It's a long session this afternoon. Long session this Friday afternoon. Perhaps I should apologize for bringing you out Friday afternoon. You would have gone, drink your 2 bunks or whatever you do Friday afternoon, eat your little black pudding and sauce. But I think it's important for me to set the record straight, right? And here what happened. Maybe this is what they're jumping at. These matters were last heard on the 20th of August, Tuesday the 20th of August, in I think it was Court 1. I attended virtually in Court 1, right? The magistrate, Judy Latchman, then put the matter off to the 23rd of September to Court 3. She postponed it, she sent it to Court 3 for report and fixture. In other words, on the 23rd of September, this matter is supposed to come up for report and fixture. Not for trial. We ain't got a trial yet. And again, allegation made in 2021, April, that the incident occurred in 2019, March and April. And this is 2024. When it comes up next on the 23rd of September, it is not for trial. It is a report and fixture. The matter, the magistrate at the time had indicated that she was given an earlier date. And I told you this on the 21st of this month. She was given an earlier date, but the prosecutor, Mandel Moore, indicated that he was proceeding on leave and he asked for a later date. Then the magistrate gave a later date, the 23rd of September this year. I came here the next day, that's the 21st, and I recounted just that. So I went to court the day before. This is what happened. The matter is now fixed for the for report and fixture on the 23rd. Maybe that is what they call it intimidation. I don't know how that is intimidation. I don't know. As a matter of fact, when they talk about traumatizing and all of that, I am more traumatized than anybody because they lie, a big lie. But the day is coming. The day is coming. The day of reckoning is coming when we're going to meet up in court. So and let me tell you, as I said, and let me go through something now, because this PPP government have been trying to get at me for years. They're trying to get at me for years. It all started back in 2003 when I was the commander of B Division. Many of you older folks will remember the story. Many of you older story remember. I was a commander there. There was an incident where the lemonade man from Rosignal and his son had some incident. The son was shot and the police were investigating. Right? Now, Gadraj, who was then the Minister of Affairs, called me one day. It was a Friday like today. I started to find out about the matter. And I, as a professional police commander, I briefed him. I was briefing him and said, this is what happened. This is the stage of the investigation. And I was briefing him very cordially at first. Then he told me that he want the gun should be returned. The firearm was seized and lodged, I think it's at Welded Police Station, somewhere there. He want the firearm returned. So I told him, I said, well, Minister, no, I told him, and I've been very honest with this. I told him, I said, well, look, if this firearm to return, I got to make arrangement with the station sergeant because I don't know if he's there, the thing will be lodged. He tell me I'm trying to get difficult. He said, look, you're being difficult. At this stage, I'm ordering you to return the firearm. So I tell you, no, it don't work, sir. You can't order me. I told him, I said, you cannot order me. And I said, furthermore, the McDonald, the commissioner, had shown an interest in this matter, and it is inappropriate for you as minister to be discussing this matter with me. Speak to the commissioner. Then he went on to tell me about I should comply and then complain. Because I told him he can't order me. And I even told him the Police Act, Chapter 1701, Section 4C, says that you disobey a lawful order given to you by a superior rank. And there was no rank named minister. So he had no authority to be even speaking to me, must have seen me ordering me. And I told him that. Tell him about comply and complain. I said, no, that doesn't work. And I reminded him of the Nuremberg tribunal, where the Nazi war criminals were being tried. And all of them, to a man, said that the reason why they committed genocide on the Jews is because they were ordered by Hitler and the senior officers to do so. The court held that no one can be compelled to carry out an unlawful order. And those officers ought to have known that an order to kill innocent people is an unlawful order, and therefore they would have been within a right to refuse. I tell you that. I lecture to him on the phone. I also told him about My Lai. Why y'all read up these things? My Lai in Vietnam, where an officer, I think his name was Colley, was similarly charged with killing some people, and then he wanted to use the same excuse about being ordered to do so. So after that, Jack Dio got involved. Bharat Jack Dio, who was then the president, got involved because it was running to go and see the commissioner, McDonald, weak McDonald, Floyd McDonald, who was the man weak. And I continue to say, had someone else with a little bit more balls been in that chair, the matter would not have escalated in the manner it did. right? McDonald, when I went to him first, he asked me what happened. And I explained to him exactly the sequence of events. He sided with me. He sided with me initially. He said, but this man always had another. He telling me that. Then the night, I think it was Capital News or someone in news carried the story. And when I went back to McDonald the next day, he position changed, the posture changed. This thing didn't put the news. You can't be talking to people. I said, talking to people? I said, telling people the truth. And if the news pick it up and carry it, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Anyhow, the Wednesday, he called me to tell me that President Jagdeo wants to see me the Wednesday. I asked him what form this will take, if he is coming with me. He said, no, let's go to the office of the president. The president wants to see you in respect to the same matter. It was midday, the appointment was set for. I got all them things documented, the dates and time and everything. When I went to the president, Jagdeo, he started a lot of nice talk. He ain't got to the main thing first. He talked about how the police and this and that. He talked, this Salawala. I remember I sat very upright with my cap under my arm, listening to him. Then he came to the story and tell me that Gadrach complained to him that I was rude to him. That is what he told me. So I said, well, that is not so. And I explained to him. He said, all right, you want the matter done? Just apologize to Gadrach. So I said, well, what am I apologizing for? He said, no, I know you had conversation, I know you talked to your lawyer and all of these things, but I want to bring closure to this matter. You don't go on your record. Just apologize. I said, well, Mr. President, what am I apologizing for? Then I said to him, look, let Mr. Gadrach, the minister, reduce this allegation into writing. And if I recognize that I did something wrong, I was willing to apologize. Gadrach never wrote because it's a setup, he to get in. He didn't all stupid. I wanted to reduce in writing. He never did so, right? And then the meeting came to an end. And I left and I went away. That is a Wednesday. The Monday following that, I was in my office at New Amsterdam, having a meeting with my officers, the regular Monday morning meeting. When the phone on my desk rang, I picked up the phone. Answer. It was Jagdeo himself. There's no secretary. He wants to speak to Commander Slow. So I said, speaking. Then he told me that he had expected an apology by then. And if then he went on, he ranted and he raved. I requested, I said, can I come to see you to explain further? I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. And then hear what he told me. And I'm almost quoting him here. If I did not apologize to Gadrach by that afternoon, he's going to side with Gadrach and I will suffer the consequences. That is what he told me, and the conversation ended. I then informed the officers what had transpired, and I said, look, I'm in no mood to continue this meeting. I left and I went across to my quarters. I then called Peter Britton, who I had engaged in this matter, attorney at law, Peter Britton. And Peter told me, Peter said, bye, as I tell you, you're wrong, and there's no police service commission, so they can't legally do anything. So what are you going to do? So I said, well, I'm inclined to write a statement and explain the sequence of events. He said, do that. He said, but before you send it, call me and you're going to read it to me. Well, I sat down and write the statement myself from my computer, printed out the statement. I called him, I read the statement to him, he made a few minor corrections, and then I sent off the statement. Outriders to carry the statement down to McDonald, because somehow McDonald tell them that Slow sent in an apology. When the statement reached and they realized it was not an apology, they hit the roof and they decided that they're going to remove me from out of the force. I understand at the meeting, you had Jagdeo, you had Gadrach, you had Raja Lunchan. Well, two of them there, Lunchan and Gadrach. So we don't know when the other one time coming. None of us know. So Gadrach was at that meeting along with others, and Lunchan, they're both now dead. Right? They decided they're going to move me out of the force. I got a letter, I got copies of all of these things, I get copies of all of these things. And I get them all over. I get them in the cloud, I get them all over the place. Not one, copies, multiple copies of the same document. Right? So they sent, I am transferred out of the force to the Financial Intelligence Unit. They had nobody there yet. This is a unit that I think Parliament had set up some act to deal with it, but they never even made a move to put the unit into effect. So they said they're sending me there, right? I am transferred to this unit. I got a letter. Henry Green was admin. Henry Green signed the letter. right? I must report to the commissioner at sunset date to be posted. When I report, McDonald left message, you want to see me. They must tell me to go somewhere, I can't remember where I was to go. I have all of those things written down, as I say. Say, all right. I left, but when I left there, the date, I think I had to report the 5th of April. I went back to New Amsterdam. I was trying to get Peter Britton. The Saturday, I couldn't get him because I think I was to report the Monday. Couldn't get him. I'm panicking now. I called a friend, Neville Denny, and I told him the predicament I was in. I wanted to handle this matter, and I was not getting on to Peter Britton. And he put me on to Rex McKay. And Rex McKay said, all right, send all the documents you have and come down to his office Monday morning, because that was his Saturday. I went to a friend and I faxed the stuff to Rex McKay, and I drove down early in the morning to Rex McKay office. Used to be in Cruel Street and the cross street by the Action Tie, I think it is. I think it's a EU, the European Union building now. I went there, I met with Rex McKay, the late Maury, and another lawyer who is around now. She's a senior counsel in the culture there. And we prepared an application and moved to the court, because Rex advised me that what they were doing, they were trying to remove me from office without cause. And we went to the court and we get an injunction against McDonald to prevent him from removing me from there. Right? So I went back to my office. I can't tell you everything. I went back to the office and I resumed my duties. The bottom line with that is that I, in 2024, January, decided I'm going to build my house. And I told Mr. Felix, who had become commissioner by then, sorry, no, he wasn't commissioner by then, before I went off on leave, I told Felix, who was he was operations, and Mr. Bumbry, who was admin, that I am taking my leave. I had accumulated leave, I think 80-something days. I am taking my leave, and I am not resuming until my house was finished. And if the house finished and McDonald was still commissioner, I am resuming. I'm not working another second under McDonald, because I believe that he had been so weak that he allowed the matter to escalate. And as fate would have it, long before the house was finished, McDonald get the marching orders to go, and then I resumed. That's about the house didn't finish, but I resumed. So they tried since then. And as a result of that, let me tell you, as a result of that, Jack Dio being as vindictive, he admitted that. He said that he's a vindictive man, right? I remained an assistant commissioner for 11 plus years. Even though I had been qualified, I got university degree, I went to Staff College in England, I went to FBI Academy, glowing reports and so on. I was an assistant commissioner for 11 plus years because of that vindictiveness. But he had sense, he ain't chop it. So although I was a senior assistant commissioner and he wasn't promoting me, he didn't promote nobody who was junior to me, because he knew, not like what's going on now, he knew that if he had done that code step, we'd go into the code step. So he never promoted. So it's not only Slow suffered, but all the other assistant commissioners below me suffered. All of them suffered, because he didn't promote me, and therefore he knew that he couldn't promote them as well. Right? Until I retired in 2010. So there's one. So there's 2003 incidents with Jack. They were telling you all how they after me a long time. In 2010, when I retired, big parade at the TSU Square. Because in Guyana, you retire at the age of 55. I retired at the age of 55. I did not spend another day. Me not ask for extension, me not ask for nothing. As soon as the day come, I'm gone. Right? There was an interview with me and a reporter from Stabrook News. And during the interview and during my presentation at the farewell, I said I was disappointed. One of the disappointments I had in the force is that there was a young officer who had gone on a scholarship to the UK, and they dismissed him because he got on scholarship. I said I was disappointed in that. Charles Ramson, I call his name. The records are there. Charles Ramson, the senior one, who was Attorney General at the time, sued me for the matter. He sued me. And they claim that at that time, the officer who was dismissed had gone to court to challenge the dismissal, and therefore the matter was sub judice, and I should not have mentioned anything about the matter. Even though my legal people say, look, you don't talk about the merits of the case. All you say, you were disappointed that this man was dismissed. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. And of course, that along there, and it disappeared. Matter get thrown out. That was then 2010. Throughout. Let me give you all some more. Let me give you all some more. Then then let me fast forward now to 2020. Let me fast forward to 2020. I can walk you out through this thing. Sit back, relax, take your notes. 2020 government change. He finally became president on the 2nd of August 2020. It was a Sunday when he was sworn in at the Arthur Chung Convention Center or Conference Center, whatever it is. On the 16th of September 2020, I had a meeting with Same Irfan, the president of Guyana. The meeting was arranged by a third party. This is not no meeting where the officer, the president called me and said, well, the president wanted to see you. A third party arranged for us to meet. I went to the office of the president in the afternoon of the 16th, and after waiting for about 10 to 15 minutes, I was ushered in to see the president. He came out from the room and he began, nice conversation, man. Paul, how you do, and so on. Then he told me that the people, they had a lot of respect for me in the PVP and so on, because they would never forget how I acted professionally during the October the 5th, 1992. I can tell you all about that later too. How they have a lot of admiration for the professionalism and blah, 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 blah. Enough about turning up and so on. I sat down and I listened to him. I told him that I have always been professional and will continue to be professional. Then he showed the thing, he talked about promotion. He mentioned names, Karimbash, Brutus. He talked about this by Mark Forson. I didn't even know who that person was. I went later on and did research. Yeah? So I told him, because he said people are long and then getting promotion and all that. So I told him, well, look, in some cases, people might have disciplinary matters pending. If you have disciplinary matter pending, you cannot be promoted. There's a rule. And in the case of the two senior officers, I know that they had pending disciplinary matters. The same matter that we refer to it with the allegation about the senior officer sexual harassment, I told him that. I said there's an officer who had a very serious allegation, sexual harassment of a journalist who asked him for some information in relation to drugs because he was in charge of the narcotics section at the time. And the allegation is that when she went there for the information, he hold on and he tried he sexually assaulted her, tried to, I understand, right? I told him that. He tell me about Paul Williams, he tell me about Azor, all them things he tell me. And I listened to him, and at some stage, the conversation ended. With him trying to tell me that because I told him by that time that we had started the process to make promotions at the end of the year. We had started. I remember that very, very well. Because when I informed my colleagues, the other members of the commission, of the interaction I had with the president, we had instructed the secretary long before that to write to the police administration to request of them to submit recommendations for promotion, which we intended to make at the end of the year, 31st of December 2020. When we had the next meeting, we convened, only to discover that the secretary had not sent off that letter as yet. So I was annoyed, because I told the secretary, it will now appear that it's because of the interaction with me and the president, we now send it now. When you know you were giving instructions long before. An apology was offered and I accepted. That was the 16th of September. And then for a little while, you had a lot of things. For example, Thomas, who in charge of the guard now, wrote to the Police Service Commission making recommendations for promotions. And I put some lash in his skin, not literally, because it's inappropriate. You in charge of the presidential guard, you can't be writing to the constitutional body, the Police Service Commission for promotion. That's not the way it works. And I give a tongue lashing. And then the commission said we should write him officially. And I wrote him a letter officially rebuking him for the action of writing to the Police Service Commission for talk about promotion. I get the list that he sent up to now. I get it start somewhere. I have that list. I made copy. I keep it for my record. The very day that the letter was dispatched to Thomas, Edgar Thomas, Special Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the Presidential Guard. So verily, when I reached home, I got a call from the President himself, Irfan Ali, his cell phone to my cell phone. I got a call from him in relation to the same Thomas letter. And he was again, he said, man, you were harsh and this way, and Thomas, man, what you know is I told him to write. And I told him, I said, well, look, even if you're the one who told Thomas to write to the commission, Thomas is a senior police officer. He ought to have advised you that that is not the correct protocol. He can't write to the police service commission. He has to perhaps make recommendations to the police commissioner, and they will then send. All of that transpired. Then everything fast forward until December the 23rd, 2020. Comrade, I'm giving you all the thing now. Let them make record. Let them check. I know journalists and all those people are likely to listen. If not, they're not on the live. They're going to check all the dates. 23rd of December 2020. The Police Service Commission met for the first time to go through the promotion process, and we created a short list of persons to be further considered. Let me repeat that. We met on the 23rd of December. It was an all-day process, 2020, where we looked at it's a very involved process if you want to do it properly, because they make recommendations. They try to bypass people, supersede people without any justification. So when we sat there, we got to go through all of that. You're recommending this man. Let's see if the man is qualified. You're not recommending somebody else. Why you're not recommending that person when you've seen it to others? All of those things you have to go through. At the end of the day, end of a tiring day, we created a short list for further consideration. Let me tell you something about the short list. The police establishment requires a certain number of officers in particular rank structure. Tell you one commissioner, 4 deputy. Now they increase the deputy, so many assistant commissioners. So when you sit down, sometimes you have vacancies for 2. Let me say you get vacancies for 2 senior superintendents, but you get recommendation for 5, 6. So you've got to go through to try to select the best, most qualified 2. This is not a friend thing we used to work. So much so that the very secretary, Jai Gobian Jai Singh, was moved to tell us, to congratulate us, is that the process he saw we went through during that 2020 thing, he had never seen. He had been at the commission for donkey's years, and he had never seen such a fair and transparent process. He said so. Ask any one of the other members of the commission. That's saying we will come and lie in affidavit to say that to give the impression that the commission I chaired was a rogue commission. So the list created. When I got home the same night of the 23rd of December, again, I was asked to call a third party, asked me to make contact with the president. And I was reluctant to do so because the fact that the Service Commission met that day to shortlist, I had a suspicion that the president wanted to speak about promotion. And I said, I ain't talking to you. I said, I ain't got nothing to talk to you. I ain't talking to him. But then they wants to call about 2 or 3 times. Somehow the president waiting. And the discipline got the better of me. And as I always said, sometimes it's good to be in discipline, because had I been in discipline, I wouldn't get going through all of these worries with them. But eventually the discipline got the better of me. I called the president. Nice conversation for the first perhaps 30 seconds. He was on the East Coast. He had a rough day. He was returned from the East Coast and so on. Then he moved straight to the thing about the promotion. So I say, well, the commission met today and we created a shortlist. He asked for 2 persons in particular, Butas and Caribas. So I told him, I said, well, as I indicated to you before, sir, these people have pending disciplinary matters and they cannot be considered this. Oh God, as Paul Keynes Douglas would say, who tell me say that? Who tell me say that? The president jump off. How long you going to keep matter pending? Y'all keeping matter pending to deny people promotion. I said, sir, it is not so. At least in this case. And the man carry on. The man carry on, and then the conversation ended. That is the 23rd of December. The next day, the 24th of December 2020, Nigel Api, who was carrying out the functions of the Commissioner of Police, received a communication from Robeson-Ben, same sleepy Robeson-Ben, Rip Van Winkle Robeson-Ben, that several of ranks, officers and other ranks, must be charged criminally for several offenses. I get the list somewhere there too. They identified several officers. Many among them were many persons who were shortlisted for be promoted. And it was evident that the reason for that was to try to get to say that these people have pending criminal matters. So if you have a man with pending disciplinary matter can be promoted, then they can be promoted too. That is what it was. It was evident, it was transparent, very clear. That is what they intended to do. When we met at the Police Service Commission next, we discussed the matter. And first of all, by then they had written to the Police Service Commission. Brutus signed this thing on his own behalf to the Police Service Commission. And we recognize that to be inappropriate because the protocol is that the Commissioner of Police must write the Police Service Commission. And the fact that Brutus, who was the admin man, write and sign, not for the Commissioner, on his own behalf, we said this is inappropriate. The Daigobian Jai Singh, the secretary there, now agreed with us. And when I asked what we should do, he advised that it should be disregarded, the letter. And we disregarded the letter and continued with the process. We later learned through an affidavit in court signed by Calvin Brutus, the same Calvin Brutus now with the study investigating for money laundering and financial impropriety. He signed an affidavit to say that the promotion shortlist was leaked to him by a confidential source at the Police Service Commission. And I have no doubt that when the president spoke to me on the night of the 23rd, he would have either seen or he would have been told of this list, who were the people excluded and who were the people included. That's part of the court record that I will talk about a little later. Conrad, you think it's easier throwing you out or walking you through this thing? So what happened now? Brutus then moved to the High Court to stop a promotion that was not made. This was a short list. The promotion wasn't finalized, but he moved to the High Court. He was joined by Prem Narayan, Shiv Prasad Bakas, Stanley, Jupiter, and I think somebody else. They joined him to challenge a promotion that had not been made. And the grounds was that they had, all of them admitted that they had pending disciplinary matters, and they were saying through their lawyers that their matters should be disposed of before any promotion is made. Again, I get the letters. The lawyer actually threatened the Police Service Commission to say that if the Police Service Commission went ahead with any promotion or promotions without concluding these disciplinary matters against these ranks, they are going to move to the court to annul the promotion. It's there in black and white. It's not slow saying so, slow repeating what they wrote, the lawyer wrote on behalf of them. So what happens? When we were, I think it might have been the 30th or the 31st of December, I'm not sure which day, 2020, when we were there finalizing the list, the legal officer from the Police Service Commission came to us and advised us that the Chief Justice, Madam Roxanne George, had ordered that the status quo of the force should be maintained. That is the language that was used. They didn't say injunction, said status quo. So I said, well, what does that mean? So it means that, I say, it is an injunction. Say, well, that is what is amongst them. You can't make any promotion. So we abort the process. That is either the 30th or the 31st of December, 2020. We abort the process. The matter came up before the Chief Justice and the Attorney General, Moabir Anil Nandlal, SC, MP, made a presentation, and he asked the court, the Madam Chief Justice, for time for resolve the matter. He used words to the effect that, look, this thing will look good, that the police suing the commission, he wants to speak to the parties. Words to the effect. It's not, I'm paraphrasing. The Chief Justice granted that. I was traveling with the West Indies team at the time. Right? We had a Zoom meeting. The members in Guyana went there, and they went in person, and I attended the meeting via Zoom. And the Attorney General, nice and thing and so on. But they wanted, basically it was blackmail. They wanted us to promote these people for them to rejoice. I said, me, I'm giving it to blackmail. I said, if they want any discussion with this matter, and I was speaking on behalf of the members because we had agreed to that position. If they want us to even consider anything for promotion, then they must withdraw the matter before the court. You can't have the commission before the court and then demanding, basically. There's blackmail. I said, no, we're not going to give in to that. They had a second meeting, At the second meeting, some of the officers who were denied, who were they retained lawyer to represent their interests. So it was no longer at that second meeting the Police Service Commission and the people from the Attorney General's chamber, but the ranks who were being denied promotion, who were shortlisted and were being denied, were shortlisted and running into problem with the name listed to be charged and all that. They retained the lawyer to look into their interests. So we had all of that there. And that couldn't get any place because we maintained that we were not going to give in to blackmail. So the matter then proceeded through the court with the arguments and all of that, I walk you through, follow very carefully. The Chief Justice, I get a date here now, the Chief Justice was to deliver our judgment, having all the hearings and so on, in, I think it was May the 22nd or something like that. Yeah. May the 22nd, the Chief Justice was to deliver our judgment in this action brought by Brutus. 22nd of May. Follow me, students. On the 18th of, on the 19th of May, 2021. 19th of May, 2021. What happened? Soku went and arrested Mr. Conway, a member of the Police Service Commission, some other officers who were part of a standing order review team. This is a team that Commissioner James and his executive leadership team put together to assist in revising the standing order. That big nose one tell them that that is inappropriate and that is conspiracy to commit fraud. So Conway was arrested, George Fraser, Mark Gilbert, Ivla Whitaker, and all sorts of people were arrested. I was in the States at the time. I was scheduled to travel the same day, the 19th of May. And as fate would have it, let me put it this way, as fate would have it, I rescheduled my flight. Let me put it nicely. As fate would have it, I rescheduled my flight. Ramana from Soku and them turn up at the airport for arrest me when I arrive in Guyana. They turn up at the airport to arrest me and put me in handcuffs when I arrive in Guyana. Well, I get a shock because I did not arrive. Then they set up a certain journalist, a female journalist, to call me the very night of the 19th of May, 2021. Conrad, may I refer to no notes? We get little notes, but I remember all of these things. She called me to tell me that she understands that I did not arrive as was expected on that day. And when am I due? When would I be arriving? Other on speaker. And the people who were listening to me, they were indicating to me that I should not respond to her. And I tell them, Ulan, walking like Lewis, and no little nastiness. And I gave her a date. I said, look, I'm scheduled now to come in, I think 24th or something like that. I told her that. The very night on social media, that Slow did not come on the 19th, but he's now due to come. And it wasn't our byline, some anonymous thing said on there. So she tell somebody and they put them there. I say, yes, you're rich, you. Yes, it's there. So I did not travel in there. And here, let me tell you, look, this story, I'm telling you all the wickedness of these people. Conway and others arrested the 19th, right? The very 19th, the night of the 19th, the evening of the 19th, Mark Phillips, Lion Mark Phillips, the Prime Minister, wrote letters to me and Conway, members of the Police Service Commission, for us to show cause why he should not advise the President to have us removed from the Police Service Commission, having regards to the fact that we were charged with conspiracy to commit fraud. The very night. And you call that, I said that is a conspiracy, that is not efficiency. How did Mark Phillips know? So they set up the whole thing. And remember, this is happening on the 19th of May, when the matter is supposed to be determined on the 22nd of May. And what happened then? The reason why? They wanted to make sure that when the matter came up on the 22nd, right? Slow, a member of the commission charge, Conway, another member of the commission charge. So the commission can't work. Because they knew that they hadn't, that the case with Brutus did not stand a ghost of a chance of succeeding in the court. They knew that. I either said it's stupid, but now them stupid. One of them get ill sense. One of them getting sentenced. They knew that. But the matter was not determined on the 22nd of May. And then what happened? Again, let me tell you all this here. Conway arrested on the 19th and others. Mark Phillips right on the 19th. The next day, then they appear in court. So therefore, you had a situation where even before the people appeared in court, Mark Phillips could have written letter to show cause, written letter to me and Conway. Tell me if that's not a conspiracy. You tell me if that is not a conspiracy. Right? So, all right. My crystal ball tell me I shouldn't travel. So I did not travel. Yes, Chilo, the crystal ball. So I did not travel. The matter going through court. So therefore, I did not plea or anything to the charges. The others pled on the 20th. I did not because I was out of the jurisdiction. Remember, no allegation was ever put to me. Nobody questioned me in relation to this of this allegation of conspiracy to commit fraud. Nothing. They just went ahead and charged me without even questioning me. And as I know it, and get some older policemen here, if I'm wrong, y'all correct me. As I know it, that when several persons, 2 or more persons are alleged to be involved in the same offense, and let me say 3 persons, 2 of them are there, you charge the 2, you aren't charging the 3rd person because you have not put the allegation to him as yet. Whenever you put the allegation to the person, then that person can, you can add them to the charge. But no, they charge me and all the rest, even though they never, ever put an allegation to me. So I continue to look at my crystal ball, and my crystal ball tell me when I should travel. The thing going through the court, they apply for an arrest warrant. The so-called liar applied for a warrant for my arrest. The magistrate refused because, as I've said, no allegation was put to me. I was not on bail. I was not, nothing at all. So how you going to get a warrant? How you going to get a warrant? So, all right. Then eventually now Ramana, Christian Ramana, he in charge of region number 4, B, Diamond. When I said this thing, I said they're traumatized too, and it's a cybercrime, but attacking the truth. He then applied for a summons for me. He got the summons from the court, and then he left it with my lawyer, which is not proper service. That is not proper service. Proper service, you got to give it to me in person or leave it at my last and recent place of abode, not the lawyer's office. I tell her, say, look, I'm running from nothing, I'm fighting up in nothing. And then on one day, when they were in court, the same day when they applied for the warrant, the lawyer called me and said, when are you going to, I was working in Antigua at the time, when are you coming? I said, look, my tour of duty will finish on this day, and I asked the court for any day after that, I'm going to come to the trial. And then they gave a date. 15th of October, 2021. That is the date the court gave. I flew into Guyana on the 13th of October, 2021, for the sole purpose of attending court on the 15th. I arrived and I got the crystal ball again. This crystal ball is a wonderful thing. Tell me, be careful. The police try to track you. So could you try to track you for arrest you. Right? That's what the crystal ball told me. And I made some maneuvers. So there's the 13th, the 14th, they're trying to track me. They can't succeed. So what happened? When I turn up on court on the 15th, so in response to the summons applied for by Ramana, when I turn up in the Georgetown Magistrate Court compound, Ramana and let me tell you them. They're gonna say cybercrime too. Ramana, Christian Ramana, 17955 Winston Singh. He was a corporal then. I think he's sergeant now. They're the same man who don't even know the caution after charge. Constable 1223-975 Shaquille Duke. I hear the sending somewhere in the bush now. And a 23-100 Conrad Thomas. They were in the Georgetown Magistrate Court to arrest me in respect to the same charge that I was at court to attend, which they got a summons for me to attend. Unbelievable. They were there to arrest me, Ramana, Duke, Singh, and Thomas. And the video is there, other man handling me, telling me what's got to the state. I said, what for? Why must I go there? I am here in response to Thomas. I go into the court, nowhere else. And they will land and they're pulling me for the thing. They will land. I said, look, I am not going into no police station office. They wanted me to go into the office because I knew why. They wanted me to go there. They would get a left-handed journalist friend. So they're going to put handcuffs and shackles on me and then bring me out for the port walk. That is what. But me crystal ball tell me all of these things. So I insisted. They had no lawful authority to arrest me. And you get one of them, including the one where the man said, let me see, me make a note. A man described one today. He said that he is a product of a traumatized sperm. Am I right now? The same one. They write a lot of nonsense to say, but I resisted arrest and I should have complied and all that other crap that time. You can't resist when the thing was unlawful. It is unlawful. Even the former president, Donald Ramatar, wrote a piece of shit in the newspaper. I referred to Ashley Singh and Brassington. They were treated, yeah, because they didn't know the right. They didn't know the right. I experienced police officer. I know you can't, I can't be charged with this offense, the matter before the court, and you coming for arrest with respect to the same offense, unless a warrant has been issued. If a warrant has been issued, well, then you're acting on behalf of the court to arrest me in relation to the warrant. But no warrant had been issued, and they're there to arrest me. Mr. Selwyn Peters from Canada was present. He came and saw what was going on. Mr. Patrice Henry, attorney, he intervened as well, and then eventually allowed me to go. They escorted me up to the courtroom, and then shortly after they get a call and they disappear. They disappear like Captain Marvel. Disappear. The very day, the 50, well, I went up on a plea and I was placed on bail. I get bail and I come out. The very day, the 15th of October, 2021, I went to Brickdown Police Station, which was temporarily housed in the St. Stanislaus compound. I was accompanied by Mr. Selwyn Peters, attorney at law, and Mr. Clinton Conway, retired assistant of Commissioner of Police, and former member of the Police Service Commission. I made a report at Brickdown about the assault that the ranks, that I was assaulted by these ranks. I also made a cybercrime report against Anil Nandlal, the Attorney General, because on the 29th of June, 2021, he went on this program issued in the news on NCN, and he referred to me, he called me a Bajan, and then he said that people like me have no place in a society governed by the rule of law. That's what he said. I took that as a threat. I wrote a statement, and I had the transcript. I went to Brickdown, and I gave it to them. Mr. Peters was there. Mr. Conway was there. Up to now, nothing. The same people talking about cybercrime and all this thing. The 15th of October 2021, the report was made against Nandlal. Nothing. A few days after, I went to the Police Complaints Authority to complain about the policemen. Then eventually they called, I think it was on the 22nd of February 2022, when Mr. Ramlal, the Complaints Authority, called them, me and Duke and Ramana. I went in, he started the investigation. Ramana and Duke refused to cooperate with the Complaints Authority. And then he said, well, you're going to report them to the Commissioner of Police or something like that. Nothing can happen. Nothing can happen. If you're talking about the rule of law, they know what the rule of law is. Nothing happened to those ranks who assaulted me. Well, the matter ain't done. I'll tell you all this, there's no done as you like. Hold on, let me open my computer, it lock up a little bit. Hold on, hey, bear with me, man, bear with me. We got long move. Yeah, so that is what took place then. The matter dragged, and then I said on the 27th of December last year, the matter finally dismissed. They got 20-something people from the police, Ministry of Finance, Home Affairs, all them turned up there for test. Well, Mr. Kamala said they testified, they testify. And it was a difficult thing to sit there and to see people swear to the Bible and tell lies. And they call themselves religious, whether it is Christian, whether it is Hindu, whether it is, well, I don't think any Muslim in there, but we see this holy book, whether it's the Bible or the Gita or the Quran, and you sit down there and they're lying through the teeth. Matter dismissed. The magistrate was skating in her remarks. Not an iota of evidence against these people. The DPP after that sent us notice that she's going to appeal the case. We don't know what happened yet. One lawyer who was part of the defense team, Mr. Dexter Todd, had to remark that he don't know how people with legal training could have gone through that file and see and recommend charge, because there was absolutely no evidence, but it was politically motivated. They're trying to get me and Conway off the commission. And what should have told y'all as well, Mark Phillips wrote the first letter on the 19th of May. About a week after he wrote us, everybody in the commission, our second letter for us to show cause why he should not advise the president to have us removed from the Police Service Commission. The first one was because Conway and I were charged. The second one is because we had joined with Member of Parliament Ganesh Mai Paul to challenge the constitutionality or the legality of the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act. That is another story, which we did. But the Constitution is clear as to grounds for removal. And that was one of the grounds. And we fought the matters in court. Now, coming back to the thing, the Chief Justice said that she will undo her decision on the 18th of June 2021. This is the Butas matter, 2021. 18th of June, it was set for the delivery of the decision. On the 16th of June, 2 days before, 2021, every member of the Police Service Commission received a letter. We each received a letter from the president saying that we were immediately suspended from the Police Service Commission. 2 days before the ruling. Again, I say that was because they knew what the ruling would have been, and they know they can't win. And they didn't want the commission in place to make the promotions once the court ruled. Suspension. Well, of course, it was challenged. The order by the president was challenged as being unconstitutional. Our lawyer, then Mr. Peters, who was representing the Police Service Commission, write a long thing and tell them about the illegality and advise us to continue our work because that was illegal. This letter that the president sent, the same president, Irfan Ali, thing got through the court. And let me walk you out through that. When it went to court, Justice Gino Prasad was dealing with the matter. Right? Now, they had a lot of interlocutory movement as well. When the matter came up, the first challenge that Nandalal put forward is that we had incorrectly named the president as a respondent. We had incorrectly named President Irfan Ali as a respondent, and Nandalal argued successfully that you can't sue the president because he enjoys, under the Constitution, immunity. The judge agreed with him and ordered that the name of the president be struck from the rubric. You know, do them fancy thing and so on. Now, the very day, even the judge expressed surprise, as the judge was now setting what they call the case management. After he ruled in the one, he now sat down to set dates for presentation and reply and so on. The Attorney General then informed the judge that on the very day they had filed an application to have the entire matter struck out on the grounds that the life of the commission had ended and therefore the matter should not proceed. Next argument with that. Argue. The judge ruled, right, that notwithstanding the fact that the life of the commission ended, this matter was of sufficient public interest for it to be continued. And what they're going to do, instead of it being Police Service Commission versus Attorney General and the others, he's going to substitute Paul Slow, that is me, in the place and stead of the Police Service Commission. So the action will now read Paul Slow versus all of these people. Right? Nandalal challenged that to the full court. The full court rejected his challenge and affirmed the decision of Justice Gino Prasad. However, they said that there was no need to replace the commission with Paul Slow. You can add Paul Slow as an applicant in this matter. You can add Paul Slow. I get the ruling. And therefore, I was added. Then done there. He then sought leave of the full court, that is the Attorney General, to go to the appeal court. That was denied. People tell you, say, look, this thing can't not going any further. Let me decide the case on its merit. Right? By that time now, you get the Police Service Commission with this chessboard bishop, the swearing and so on. Yeah, Eileen, I heard that. I heard the sad news that my squaddy and my very good friend died. Yeah. So the thing that by then you had the service commission. The new service commission now employed well, he was Queen's Counsel then, he's now King's Counsel on their behalf. And then he sought to withdraw. He said the commission had no further interest in the matter. And then he was told, well, that's fine, but you can't withdraw Paul Slow's interest. Paul Slow still got the interest. So if the commission doesn't want to continue, it's fine. But Paul Slow will continue. I say continuing. And they do all sort of Salawala, the triumph. Then eventually, on the 24th of March last year, Justice Zito Prasad ruled in the matter. And he said, hey, let me read what he said, man. His concluding, sir, he said, in summary, therefore, the decision of His Excellency the President to suspend the chairman and members of the Police Service Commission was unlawful, ultra-virus Article 225 of the Constitution, arbitrary, unreasonable, and unfair. He goes on to say, in violation of the suspended chairman and commissioners' constitutional rights to the protection of the law and due process of the law, null, void, and of no effect. That is what the judge ruled on the 24th of March last year. Nothing nonetheless, he appealed the matter and so on. And then later on, let me tell you all this here now. The decision, well, he was to deal with costs. They were to submit application or whatever they call it to the what cost. At the end, when the judge made the order for cost, he said cost was awarded to the Attorney General in the sum of $200,000. In other words, he said I must pay the Attorney General $200,000 to the part of the matter that I lost. And the Attorney General must pay me $300,000. So it was a $500,000 judgment. I got to pay the Attorney General $200,000, and the Attorney General also paid me $300,000. So up to now, I can't get it. I went there on at least one occasion, and I called the people. I can't get it up to now. But I got to get it. It's me money. I have to get it. And the judge had given him 8 weeks. The judge had said 8 weeks thereof. 8 weeks thereof, I'd say, in the circumstances, I find the sum of $500,000 to be reasonable. And I do so order cost in the sum of $500,000 to be paid by the Attorney General to Paul Slow within 8 weeks of this, within 8 weeks hereof. And this is a judgment dated the 23rd of April 2023, or sometime then. So I tell you, let me tell you all more too, right? I tell you what the justice said. Then you had once I went to court on the 15th of October 2021, I had a sneaking suspicion that they will try to prevent me from leaving the country, even though they had no lawful authority to do so. So I discussed it with my lawyer, Mr. Hughes. I said, look, the safest thing to do, let's go to court and get an order. I was on bail. There was no condition attached to the bail to prevent me from leaving. My passport had to be lodged. The judge, the magistrate did not make any order. No condition. Just put on bail. You got to come back to court a particular day. So we filed. We wanted to be safe, and we filed this application for permission in the High Court for permission to leave. The matter was before the Chief Justice. Nandlal appeared in person to challenge the application. Let me repeat that. After being put on bail on the 15th of October 2021, we went to court to seek permission to leave. We are lawful people, law-abiding people. The Attorney General, Anil Nandlal, appeared in person to object to that. So I should not be allowed to leave the country. Even though in our application, I was able to produce my contract I had working with Cricket West Indies. I was required to go and work on all of that. Eventually, the Chief Justice ruled in my favor and said it was conditional. I must lodge transport and I must return by a particular time. Get me transport from the house, I lodged the transport. I went and I returned as directed by the court. I had to leave a second time. I had to go back to the court again. This time, Justice Navendra Singh ordered the matter. Again, the AG Chamber objected to my leaving, even though, again, I get contract I would have produced to them to show that they had to leave. They objected, they didn't want me to leave. The judge ruled again in my favor, said I must leave and I must come back by a particular date, which I did. I had to leave again to go and work, so I had to make a third application. And on the third occasion, the Solicitor General was in court, and when the judge asked, they said, well, they didn't get no objection. Because I had gone, come back, and the people still objected. Of course, it costed me to have to fly in and fly out to pay for lawyer money and all this, what it costing me. But that was the intention. That was the intention, to harass me and to bring me to my knees. That is what they want to do. But let me tell you all this. Let me tell them this. Anytime you see Slow on his knees in respect to this matter, it's because he's praying for y'all. Let me repeat that. Anytime you see Slow go down on his knees, it's not because of pressure y'all put on Slow. You can't bring no pressure to get Slow to bow. It's because he's on his knees praying for y'all. Praying. And the prayer is that all we can put up in hell at some day. Wicked set of people. That is what's going on. Wicked. Let me tell you all some more story. In 2017, people telling me these things, about how they're after me and so on. I know in 2017, I was asked to do a commission of inquiry where there was a plot. A man had gone and reported that a businessman paid me to kill President Granger. And Branham, who was the crime chief, Aiken, who was commander at Brigdam and so on, they didn't do anything about the matter. The man went to office of the president, then the man was referred to Home Affairs. When the man went to the Home Affairs ministry, they called Aiken, who was commander of the division, and told him this man was there, sent by office of the president. Aiken sent across his crime chief to go and bring the man from Brigdam, Home Affairs, to his office. Because I think Branham called him and told him that Branham called Aiken, told Aiken that this man was there and he must send for the man. Aiken caused the man to go to his office. From his office, the man was taken to CAD headquarters. And Aiken said, he bring the man to the office to identify, he not question the man and all that thing. He lied under oath again. He did so in the Linden Commission of Inquiry. He came and he lied. And what happened? I conducted the inquiry, and at the end of it, I recommended that Silal Prasad, who was the commissioner, who inappropriately was on leave at the time, who inappropriately, in my view, right, intervened in the matter and caused this man who was arrested, they say, on this plot to assassinate the president, to be sent on bail within a couple of hours of his arrest because of his close relationship with the man's brother. These things are there in evidence, sworn testimony. And I felt that it was untenable for him to remain in office. And I so recommended that he should be asked to resign. Failing that, Article 225 of the Constitution should be invoked to have him removed from office. I said so. I recommended that Branham, the crime chief, should be removed because this is a man who, when questioned, he said that he found the allegation to be inherently incredible. Branham said so, is on record. When asked on the oath what he thought of the allegation to assassinate the president, he said he thought the allegation was inherently incredible. And even at that stage, long after, he couldn't say whether any report had been made to any station and so on. I wrote it there in the record. I told you all already, the report is there. Many people have requested, and I have sent the report to them, but it's still there. Anybody want to see the report? And people tell me, because what happened then, Branham was moved, James was the commissioner, Branham moved, Silal Prasad was allowed to continue, despite what they're saying, to continue and to retire. Other people there at the major crime unit, like Caesar and Prem Narayan, all those persons were removed. When the government came back into power in 2020, they bring them back. And you see what's going on? They brought them back. But people tell me, say they're after me. They're coming for me since then. And I said, bring it on. I'm not afraid of them. I said, bring it on. They bring it on. They as I said, they can't intimidate me. They had meeting on the East Coast, they're planning to kill me. I get all the record and so on. A particular lawyer in a certain office, I get it. I'm not getting the police. I get the people who I believe can do something about it. Right? Then what they say? Let me say this here too. One man on a comment, I think it was yesterday, Well, he started off talking about my professionalism when I've been in the force. But he made a mistake when he said that on October the 5th, 1992, I took instructions from the PPP and so on. The government, PPP wasn't in government on October the 5th, 1992, friend. If you recall, that was the date of the general and regional elections. And at the end, during the course of the afternoon, they had big bacchanal in Georgetown. At the time, I was in charge of the TSU, and I went out there with a unit from the TSU and crushed the disturbance that was going on. I went there, and I became the most professional police officer in the Guyana Police Force. When PPP came into office in 1992, I was seen as the most professional police officer because I did what was the professionally correct thing. I didn't mind that it was the claim that it was PNC people, and I voted for PNC. But I had a duty to protect law and order, and I did that. Right? I went out there with the unit from TSU, none of them boys were around, and within short order, we brought order back to the city. There was looting in Regent Street. We brought order back. Then we went during the same period when the people were going to attack Freedom House. Me and the men go and prevent that from happening. When we get word that the men were going to loot clearance, we went there and we prevented all them things. I was seeing all the business people used to praise me as the most professional officer. PPP, seeing the oldest followers. I mean, these young dunce ones I can remember, but ask people like Roy. I mean, he old and dunce, but he should remember that. The young dunce one I can know that. Ask people like the Smokey the Bear. Ask them. The older ones like Gail Teixeira and them. They can remember what Paul Slow and the TSU and the professional police did on that day. So much so, let me tell you, you know, I have gotten 2 national awards. I have the Discipline Service Medal, and I got the Kasif Crown of Honor. 2 awards, national awards. And before the jump out and talk, the first national award, the Discipline Service Medal, was given to me when Janet Jackson was president of the country. So y'all put in your pipe and smoke it. So at least you come in and tell you about your PNC and your this. Let us come and talk. I got to remind them of bringing out the facts. So for sure, they're after me a long time. And let me tell you, when this matter, as I said, this coming back to this, the focus of this thing today, this statement the police issued. When these allegations were made in April, that is when they were April 2021. That is when they were trying to get me off of the Police Service Commission, all kind of thing that they trumped up allegations about fraud, other allegations and so on. They did everything to get me off the Police Service Commission. When the president suspended the Police Service Commission on the 16th of June, 2021, the life of the commission would have ended on the 8th of August. We had about 52 days only for it to go. And so the question is, why would the president violate the Constitution and suspend the commission when he had less than 2 months? The life of the commission was less than 2 months. He did so because he knew that the judge would have ruled in our favor, and they did not want the Police Service Commission to be in place because they know we would have gone ahead and we would have made the promotion, which we did on the 28th of June when the Chief Justice threw the challenge. And then on the night of the 29th of June, Anil Nandalal SC MP went on NCN on Issues in the News and said they were not going to recognize the promotion, and they have not recognized the promotion of many officers since then. Many officers who are still serving, and I have said to them, it's up to them to take the matters, they got to deal with it. All this is wickedness. Wickedness. And let me move on. And they talk about in the investigation allegation against me. Let me tell you a thing to investigate, man. They got the Sue gate. They got Sue story. Let me see if I get the hold on. Let me see if I get it here. Hold on. I might have it, do I? Yeah, what? Look what I want y'all investigate. Y'all investigate this.
Sit there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people. Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.
He claims...
Let me play the back, man. Let me play the back.
Sit there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing.
My relationship? Who? Su? Su? My relationship? That's what y'all must investigate. If y'all want to investigate this one. Let me show y'all the next one. Hold on. Let me show y'all the next one here. This one. Investigate this here.
Guyana's Acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken today laid to rest claims that his Deputy Commissioner of Police Acting Calvin Brutus is on the investigation by the Special Organized Crime Unit. Hicken spoke with reporters on the sidelines of the first legal conference on criminal justice reform at the Marriott Hotel in Georgetown.
It's about Mr. Brutus and the multi-million-dollar deposits. Is it true or not?
No, it's not true. And I made a release already through our system.
You didn't see it?
Yeah, I made a release. It's in the system. There was no investigation going on whatsoever.
And no deposits?
Nothing whatsoever.
Okay, thank you.
That's what y'all must investigate. Lie. They can lie. Bara Jagdio, Su, a man who, as my colleague would say, is normally very fluent. Very fluent. When the lady asks you, what's your relationship with Su Jurong? Su is my tenant. You can see brain walking over time. Shock. Let me play it one more time, man. I love it.
Sit there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.
He claims...
A friend of ours who, look, let me tell you something. I could watch the thing all day. And I'm sure that the people at the FBI and other places dealing with behavioral scientists, they would have analyzed that and they would have come to a conclusion as to whether the vice president was truthful or not. That is what I must investigate. Let me tell you all more things to investigate. Investigate May Thomas, the PS Home Affairs, who the US say was involved in corruption. US sanctions, investigate that. What about Dharamlal? If you want to investigate sexual assault, investigate Dharamlal, who was alleged to have buggered, raped a little indigenous girl, who the other lady alleged rape. She said he bites you up, he behaved like a cannibal, crotch cannibal. That is what y'all must investigate. Are y'all investigating that? Let me get y'all more to investigate. Brutus. All the millions and millions of dollars and all the corruption, financial improvement. Why is the position with that? Are you frightened to touch Brutus? Because Brutus has made this clear, I understand. It is alleged that Brutus made it clear that anytime you are touchy, all you are going down, those in government and elsewhere, going with him. He's not going alone. He's speaking about someone who got many rape allegations against him, have go down too. Right? That is what he said. You can't touch it. It cannot show you all just now, just there. And again, let me ask the question. Today's, I think, 52 days or something like that since Brutus said he go up and leave. Y'all question it yet? Y'all put the allegation to him as yet? Y'all talking about you get overseas counterpart for assist with investigation against me. Y'all put them allegation to Brutus again. Y'all question Iken, who was clearly complicit in this in the crime, clearly, because he said no money is lodged, no investigation is going on. Then it is alleged that he called the ranks who stopped this illegal transaction, berated them, and transferred them. All of these things are there to be checked out. Investigate them. Investigate Caesar, who Bascom said was paid $30 million Guyana dollars to cover up the paper shards murder. Y'all ain't investigating that. You want to investigate me. Let me tell you other investigation y'all should do. All them who involved in the massive corruption, gold smuggling, and all of that. All those who visas were being revoked for being involved in money laundering, gold smuggling, and other serious crimes. Investigate that. Investigate the massive corruptions with vehicle cleaning in their ministries. Let me tell you a couple. You could start. Ministry of Agriculture, PYY 3940, $824,000 for, and according to interior steam, shampoo, etc. $824,000 Ghana for steaming the interior, shampooing. Me I know what the etc. mean, but I know as a police, once you see them thing, etc. and quantity, you know it's cock you get in, right? Investigate that. Another one is not limited to one ministry. They got Ministry of Public Works, Agile Ministry. Investigate the vehicle PXX 216 from the Ministry of Natural, the one from PXX 216 in the Ministry of Natural Resources. Ministry of Natural Resources. Between the 9th and the 24th of August 2023, over $800,000 for maintenance. Investigate. PMM 4755 from Agile Ministry, right? $200,000 for the purchase of a battery. Y'all investigate that. And if you want to investigate matters under the Sexual Offences Act, investigate the allegation that a certain senior police officers have sex with the daughter. Y'all want to investigate? Y'all come for me, man. Come. I'm not afraid of y'all. I'm not afraid. I ain't running and hiding. But if y'all want to investigate, I'm giving y'all things to investigate. All of those things are there. Investigate. Investigate the big running with gasoline from the gas station in Kitty, where people say it is alleged that a certain senior officer get trucks and the police gasoline from there the gasoline is taken to go and fuel up the trucks and so on. Investigate them things. But you come and say, well, because remember, it's you say, you know, that in accordance with Section 3.2 of the Police Act, you're charged to the due enforcement, you're charged with the due enforcement of all laws and regulation, which is directly charged. So I would expect these things are laws and regulation that it is directly charged. Investigate those things as well. And they said legal advice will be sought when this investigation done. I have no doubt. They have got to the DPP, but the DPP is known. What the man named Senior Counsel, late Senior Counsel Bernard De Santos, said that, paraphrasing, I ain't get anything if I read it, for quote it, that it is suspected among the criminal bar, that is the lawyers who practice criminal law in Guyana, that the director, he said the acting director of public prosecution, the same director now, whose husband is a Muslim cleric, cannot divorce our religion from our professional duties. That is what Bernard De Santos said. It's contained in the book, Hijacking of the New Building Society. I have encouraged you people to get a copy and to read the book. So y'all want to investigate them things they say. Investigate all of that. And I say again, I can't believe that they're so stupid that they recognize they can't intimidate, they can't silence slow from speaking the truth. Only the grave can prevent people from speaking the truth. And to get there, the Almighty will decide when is that. Not them who at the bar on East Coast and all them. The Almighty will decide that. So let me, folks, I have so much. I think I have covered most of the issues. I think I covered most of the issues that I have here. Most of them. Most. And I ain't gone done. I will continue to speak the truth. And if speaking the truth, as I just did, amongst the cybercrime and amongst the intimidation, well then, yeah, go on. Because, you know, they're quick to say now that they are traumatized, right? The chief of staff, Omar Khan, said that a statement made by a politician against him caused him trauma. He filed a police complaint, and the politician, Annette Ferguson, was charged under the Cybercrime Act. Sherrod Duncan, referred to a man as a trench crapo, which I think he looked like. And what happened? Charge cybercrime. So I suspect that now that I talking it, y'all gonna file cybercrime charge or charges against me. But let me tell you all this. So far, y'all give me 4. The one for conspiracy to commit fraud, that get dismissed. 3, sexual assault. And again, I say, where a policewoman alleged that a rupture foot. So how do you believe that is rape or so? No, nothing to do with sexual penetration. It wasn't. She wasn't Durham Lald. She wasn't Durham Lald. She claimed it a rupture foot. Matters before the court. So I'm not gonna comment on it. So there's 4. But maybe y'all could give me 15 more so I could catch up with you finally. You give me 4 so far? Give me the next 15. Let me run par with you finally, and then maybe I'm going to run for president. Right? Because it seems as though that is what it requires to be a president in Guyana. Look, let me tell you something. I will continue to come here on Speaking Out and to speak the truth and to expose corruption and incompetence and to teach the younger policemen, not for these older ones. Well, the older ones too. I shouldn't make that distinction. Because the older ones, they know that they learn. Many of them have reached out to me to thank me for highlighting certain issues. Many of them are afraid. For example, when I said recently, my understanding over the past couple of years, over 700 policemen have tendered their resignation and they're refusing to accept resignation. Somebody called me and told me that it's not only the police force, the army as well. People want to resign and they are refusing to accept the resignation. Now you tell me, if people don't want to work and you forcing them to stay, how effective will they be? You tell me that. How effective will they be? But that is what that is what you're going on in the place. And when you talk about it, people are annoyed. You get a Minister of Home Affairs missing in action, MIA, all sort of things happening in the ministry. Police, Kanu, fire, all them places, prison, all the places under the ministry. And you don't, whenever Ben speaks, he speaks a scandal of bond. Whenever he speaks, it's a scandal of bond. You know, let me tell you something. Some of the things I wanted to describe, but being this program is what it is, I can't use the correct adjectives to describe some of the action. I couldn't. This is not a morning program if you just cuss up and all this. I can't use, because many times I'm tempted to use the adjective that starts with F and ends with ing. But you know, like fracking and flocking, I want to use them. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So, folks, again, I say, to repeat, this statement by the police yesterday is just a malicious statement designed to tarnish my good reputation and image. They ain't going to succeed. Because remember, you know, I am no overnight fly-by-night person. I spent 37 years in the Guyana Police Force. 37 years in the Guyana Police Force. I established a proper career. I am known. And a lot of people will tell me that when a man said yesterday on I think on the, you could go and check it, Starbuck News carried this report, that this statement, and you could see the comments. A man said, look, he will put his head on a block that Slow did not commit these things that they talk. Oh, buddy, let me tell you, your head safe. Your head safe. The man said you can put his neck on a block. And I tell them, you know, I have said before, all of them were jumping up and jump up, including the one who was conceived from traumatized sperm. That's what the man said. You got one of them that's right now. Man said he conceived from traumatized sperm, including him, right? I tell you all, over and over, let me subject all of us to polygraph, like detector test. Let's polygraph. The president came out on the 30th of May, I think it was, and said, lie. Polygraph him. Polygraph him. I am willing to sit in front of any investigator and be polygraphed in respect of the things that I've been saying. Wonder how many of them can withstand that. They are lying. They lie through the teeth. Jack the others, they're lying. Ikin lying. Put them on polygraph, man. Let them volunteer for polygraph. Because remember, some years ago during the coalition administration, when they polygraphed a lot of senior officers, some of them who are currently in senior position, they failed. They failed the polygraph test. They failed the polygraph test. So maybe it's time to do that again. Maybe it's time to do that. So you're going to hear Alu, ask them what all them riches they get. Ask Boothers if it is true that that property at Albert and 5th Street, Albert Town, was bought for $50-something million frenzies that was demolished. Ask if it is true that he had $100-something million in office, in cash, and said it was hard-earned cash. Ask him now. Some of the things you're going to ask him, because I know it is true that the accounts for himself and his wife were frozen. The banks froze the accounts. Ask him about other all the properties they get. Ask the extended squatter the same thing. Let them put them on polygraph. But then they might tell you that, look, they ain't taking polygraph unless certain senior people take it too. That is the reality. Again, they're trying to silence me and they would not succeed. They come with this thing to say, what? Investigating another serious, it is so unprofessional. Another serious allegation made under the sexual offenses. Like what it is. And then they say that Slow has been exhibiting criminal behavior on social media. I have been exhibiting criminal behavior on social media. I get man every Thursday, every Tuesday, they're exhibiting criminal behavior relentlessly, and nobody ain't telling them nothing. One man got so far for calling an upstanding and respected woman a low life. A man who, I call his name Jack Dio because he said so, he never on record that he called the respected Cathy Hughes a low life. Jack Dio, a man who his wife said, Vashni Singh, he put she out of the house and she was traumatized and domestically abused. He got the guard to sit there and call people all kind of names. He sit there and he referring to people as criminal. Them are criminal, people who have not been convicted by any court. And I will continue to say that if people, by his measurement, yes, he can say me is criminal too because of charge. If you are a criminal, forget about the presumption of innocence, then given that allegation against you with Suge, then you're a criminal too. I'm going to say so. I'm not afraid to say so. Sue me if you want. Because I'm saying again that if we are to use your measurement, that once an allegation is made against a person, that person is referred to by you as a criminal, then an allegation is made against you. And the allegation is, in the Vice News report, that you will take $500,000 from Chinese businessmen to pave the way for them to get contracts and so on. That's a very serious allegation. And in any society, according to Nandalal, governed by the rule of law, a proper and credible investigation would be done. But no investigation is done. And you sit there and you're running the show and you're talking all sorts of things. I am not afraid. So you have to put in your pipe and smoke it. And the reason why, I tell you again, the reason why I am not afraid is because I know what you are, but I know that someday I have to die and I'm going to die with my dignity. I can't just say, Francina, what is called in it? Die with your dignity. But I'm going to die with my dignity. I will not go down on my knees and bow down to y'all. Anytime I go on the knee, is to pray for y'all. Anytime I go up on my knee, is to pray for you. And I'm going to do that steady. And I know many students here are doing likewise. Many. Folks, I don't think I have missed anything. I don't want to keep you over here, 1 hour, almost 2 hours already. As I say, I got some very sad news, which I need to, somebody even say it is almost confirmed that a squad mate of mine, with whom I had a long conversation Saturday night, the man called me, we gave all kind of story. And he want me say, Paul, they're going to assassinate you. Man found dead today. Shaded Ramphal, dignified diplomat, dead. And now they're operating like they would never, ever die. They're thieving, they're lying, they're cheating. I hear Mel say, one of them so cruel. And I can be a little cruel there. You have to forgive me. One of them so cruel. He lashing his sister, he lashing him mother. I know if he lashes Wild Cane or what he lashes, but that's what Mel say. he lashing them. I was to find out, I can send a comment. When he said lashing, what you mean? If they're using wild cane, tamarind whip, or something like that. I don't know. But that is the allegation that is being made, that the man is a lash man. That the man is a lash man. So, folks, we have had a long afternoon. My colleague, I'm sure he's listening. He didn't get no batting today. Today was all pace someone and slow bowling fast. Slow bowling fast today. And I hope that I have set the record straight with you. The record will never be set straight with them because they're going to also continue to push this thing about sexual assault, and therefore some of the sycophants then continue to say, oh, he's a sexual predator. Nothing of the sort. I am no damn lie. I am no damn lie. I am no Lucifer. Because Lucifer is the man who they say rape or attempted to rape the journalist, the allegation, and a policewoman alleged that he raped her. That is Lucifer. That is not me. I was going to find out who is Lucifer. Not me. Not I. And I have never had that type of allegation. But you know, they put in the report in such a way that people, and I'm blaming the people because how they style it, that is the impression you get. So that is why it is incumbent upon me to come and to clear the air. I have sent letters to the media, which I hope to have published tomorrow, again outlining this thing. And once by tomorrow, I'm going to put this statement that I've written, I'll put it upon social media so that people can see what the facts are. And I'm sure when these things are put out there, any sensible, discerning person will realize what they're doing. They're coming after slow. And while they're coming after slow, because they're slow, I guess they see slow as a strong advocate, right, for truth and right. And they believe that if they silence slow, they're going to get all, everybody else going to frighten. Because that's happening, you know. A lot of people call me to tell me they're frightened to watch the show because if people know they watch, they're going to victimize them. People call will tell me that, look, they live in the States and they got children and family working with the government in Guyana, so therefore they don't want me to comment. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that? But people are genuinely fearful. I am not. People are genuinely fearful. That is what is going on. That is what is going on. But not this black brother. I am not afraid to speak the truth. I will continue to speak the truth. To close, the allegations are false. This thing about intimidating witnesses and so on, false. I have never done that. All I did, whenever the matter, and you got a lot of regulars there, I would tell you all of the upcoming date. And then when the matter, when the date comes and the date gone, I will then update you as to what transpired. Is that intimidation? Like I did on the 24th of this month. I said we had a case on the 20th. The magistrate postponed it to Court 3 for report and fixture on the 23rd of September. That is what I've said. And that is what it is. And they're going to tell you because when at some stage earlier, the magistrate, the acting chief magistrate ruled that the matter will have summary disposal. They're running the release, the thing, big in the thing. They want with the engine on the back, release, slow to stand, slow to face, no escape for slow or some shit like that. And those matters are in-camera matters. So you don't have reporters, you don't have anybody who's not actually involved there. Reporters are not there. So you think it reach out? It's them tell the Volkswagenists that they are the ones who are violating, and then they're accusing me of projecting. They're accusing me. I have not done so. I will never done so. The time will come. Let me understand this thing clearly. As long, even though it has been dragging so long, charges filed in 2021, 19th of May to be precise. Allegations are these incidents occurred in March and April of 2019. This is August 2024. The matter can't try yet. But one day, it's going to try. And I'm confident of my vindication. And when they're done, we're going to hear what is the true story. I can't talk them things, but we're going to hear what is this true story. We're going to hear the real facts. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. Folks, it has been a good afternoon, Friday afternoon. Let me wish you all the best for your weekend. Those of you in the United States, you have Labor Day weekend. Big Pashway on Eastern Parkway on Monday. And they have lots of activities. This is one of the busiest travel days in the U.S. and one of the most active days or nights, weekend in the New York in particular. I want you all to be safe. I want you all to be safe and enjoy your weekend, your barbecue and whatever else you do, all your hamburgers and your dogs. Enjoy your Labor Day. We don't want to hear when Tuesday morning come, they had shooting and somebody get injured or anything. Anytime you get injured, it was because some hot dog stick in your throat. You eat a little too much hot dog. Anytime you get injured, because you eat too much and you get shittings. No violence at all. No violence. None at all. And I'll see you, God's willing. We'll meet again. The program is not, I told you already, we're not going to have any program on Monday because of Labor Day. God's willing, we'll meet again on Wednesday. But as I've always said, if something comes up, as happened today, yesterday, today, I am going to come and I'm going to bring you the information. You can't allow these things to just lay down there too long, right? We can't. When they make these allegations, when they come with this stupidness, we have to respond. That is the power of social media. Long ago, it's chronicled on NCN, and you don't get no access to them things. But now we get social media. And as I said, don't believe what I say. You are sensible people. You check all the thing and analyze it for yourself and come to your own conclusion. I am giving you the facts. And you are not intellectually challenged like some of them. So therefore, you can suss out what is the correct thing. So folks, that is all for this afternoon. Again, I say, stay well and see you, God's willing, see you as a schedule now for next Wednesday. In September, because this is the last program in August of this year. Tomorrow is the last day in August, and I will see you in September. Until then, stay well. Bye.